I just filmed this last video. I'm not really going to call it a vlog. I'm just going to say it's a video. I just recorded this last video and I realized I forgot to tell y'all the reason why I started with this subject and not something like get to know me or something else that I had been telling people that I was going to end up doing. The reason for that is because simply my editing software messed up. It said it was not compatible with the video files. I didn't have the time to go and fix that, and honestly, they're pretty poor quality. I didn't have my light up here set up. I didn't have everything set up just perfectly where it has this quality video as you see right now. So I decided, why not start with something that actually some people are into, like what you're about to find out about this whole big mess right here. So, hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in a bit. Hey guys, we're here alrighty. So I thought something that we could kind of do for fun on this channel. Those of you that are actually around and still waiting for a video to come up, and for it to be seen. I thought, why not do a little bit of something that I'm interested in, something that I'm kind of proud of, to show y'all some more hobbies that I do. Alright? So we're going to start off with none other than my ever so loved sound system I have set up in my room. Alrighty. We're going to start at the top. Please excuse the desk. It's a little messy. I haven't cleaned up in a bit. But here's what we have at the top. Alright. Sorry for the shaking. I'm kind of still getting used to this one. Alright. So, we have here, it's set up as this is the left and right of each speaker set. So here, we have a right surround sound, or a left surround sound, left surround sound. Over here, it's the same. Don't kind of feel that. It's a left surround, or right surround sound, right surround sound, right computer speaker, right computer speaker, left computer speaker, left computer speaker. And then here, let me take this out. We can kind of get back inside. Let me take this out. These two. I think we'll be able to see just fine. Whoa. I think we'll be able to see just fine. Turn on the brightness so y'all can see everything in here pretty well. Alrighty, so back here again we have a computer speaker here. We have another white one back over there in the back, right here. Let me turn that around for y'all. I don't know how that's going to sit. It's alright, I don't really use them a lot anyway. We have the back surround sound there, back surround sound there, and then we have the mid setup here. Now, since we pay attention to the surround sounds a lot, let me tell you how that's set up. That is all part of this DVD player we have here. Okay, I need to get that stabilized. There we go. It's a little dusty, don't mind that. But basically what happens is all of these two sets of speakers are ran to the same thing here. If we want to go ahead and look at the back, you can see all the wires are right there that run up into that. Oh yes, and I almost forgot, there's a little bass thing sitting right there. I'll get a better picture on the other side. Yeah, little bass thing there. I don't think the second set had that. Actually, I was wrong. It's right here. I forgot where I put it. Alright. So all that is ran into this, and this. Ooh, my bad. And this runs all the way around into another thing I'll show you in a moment. Alrighty. Each of the computer sets, because we have two. We have the big one here, and we have the little tiny one here that we're also sitting right in front of this thing. Those are also kind of ran in the same way. Everything needs to be individually turned on, but in the end, it all works out, which is what matters to me. We're not even to the big stuff yet. So these guys here, in here, they, as you know, usually it's something like you have to plug it into a computer or into an outlet. It has power, and then you plug in the aux cord to whatever device you're plugging it into, whether it's your phone or your laptop, as I have here, or any other miscellaneous item that you can think of. Alright, so what I've done is I've gotten a bunch of music splitters, and I'm not going to pull that all out because that's a pain. So basically, I've got enough music splitters here where I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 for the big dude, 5, 6. I think there's like 6 or 7 different plugins here, because I have the pink ones and then I have the black ones where you can't really see it very well. Let me turn the brightness back on. Alrighty, so we have all that going on back in there. You can kind of see it's all kind of jumbled up, but that's what's going on. There's a lot of music splitters that come down into one thing. Now let me go ahead and put this back in. I think I need to go with that one first so I get the wire situated. So it likes to be just a little bit tricky, so we'll move it back just a bit. There we go. Alright, so we set it up like that, and as you can see, to turn it on, I still have to hit that button. There's a little bit of sizzle, but you really can't notice it whenever music is actually playing through. And same thing on that side, spin the power button, turns on. I could put in auxes here, which I might eventually, I don't know, I haven't really thought about using that because of the rest of the setup that I have, but if I ever need it, I have it right there. So, we will move on to the next piece. Alrighty, so we're back. Let me fix the camera just a bit. Alrighty, so that is the main setup. That's everything that I have connected together all the time. There's no changing between any of that. It's all going to be connected into the same setup. But something I thought that would be really cool, because I'm always buying new sets of like Bluetooth speakers. I had one in here that I started off with. I believe this is the Polk Boom Swimmer or the Polk Boom Duo. I can't remember. Anyway, basically a little waterproof Bluetooth speaker. Worked pretty well. It's the first kind of speaker-ish thing that I had, and I loved it forever. But with everything, you have to upgrade. Alrighty, we're right back. Sorry, my brother walked in, kind of interrupted the video. It's life, but we'll jump back right to where we were. So, I thought, with all of the extra speakers that I did not have at the time of setting up this whole thing that you just saw, because I'm currently sitting in front of it, right here. So, with all of this being set up, I needed something to be able to add more to it. And I thought, what would be better than to just have more aux cords? You ask, okay, why would you do that? Well, here's the thing. Most of these little Bluetooth speakers, like this one here, if I open up the back, has a little aux jack. And I'm currently struggling. Okay. They have a tiny little aux jack, like right there. This one's right next to the charging port. So, with all the Bluetooth speakers that I've seen having these, it just kind of sounded like a really good idea. Unlike all of those that you just saw, where they have their own aux jack going out that you then have to plug into something else, this is like adding on to its own thing. So, let me show y'all what we have here. Again, please excuse the mess. I'll get to all of that later. That'll probably be a second video. Alright. Now, what I have is, I told you I had a lot of extra splitters that had other aux jacks that go into them. So what we ended up getting was extra aux cable here. It's the green one, as you can clearly see. That doesn't go back into one. I have to remember which ones are which. This little USB here goes into the glass looking speaker back there. We have aux cable here, And I believe, if I can't remember, but I think there might be one more. I just cannot find it. Now, that's all the aux jacks. Now, it allows me to do two things. First, I can always, rotate out speakers that are extra. Secondly, it allows me to have speakers that are part of the setup that I can also remove to take elsewhere. Because I've taken sets of speakers to like little get-togethers or parties, some sort of like sleepover thing, where someone doesn't really think of having a setup to listen to music. But I always end up bringing mine just because I'm known as kind of like that guy. I'm like the audiophile of a lot of the people that hang out with. Now, what do I have for all this? Where do these aux jacks go? Where do they plug into? Well, as of right now, I have a few things. My guitar amp, which I currently do not play, just because I kind of gave up on it. But if you look really closely, and if it'll focus, I don't think it will. Hold up, one moment. Right there. Alright. It has a little headphone jack. Now, what I can do with that headphone jack is I can take that and, well, actually it doesn't plug into the headphone jack, I forgot. It plugs into the input jack. That'd make more sense, wouldn't it? It has a little input jack. Now I can take this little adapter that I have, that I currently do not have on me, plug it in here. It goes into a normal aux size, and then take one of the aux cords that are either there or down here and plug it into that, allowing me to use complete and total access of my guitar amp, which kind of bumps things up and makes things pretty loud. Having the guitar amp added on to the whole setup kind of just makes everything start coming together if I want to make music loud. If I was to have a bunch of friends over, and say for instance we were playing cards, I don't know, something like that, I could turn on the music, have it playing loud enough where you could hear it all the way on the other side of my house, which comes in it's pretty handy whenever I'm home alone. I just want to jam out a little bit, but I don't want to be confined to my room. I just turn it up pretty loud, and I can hear it perfectly throughout the whole house. And with the bass on the big boy under the table, everything just kind of starts coming together. Now, I have a couple more things. As you saw earlier, sometimes I'll plug this in. Now, usually I only plug this in if I'm just that desperate to show off. It's one of those types of things. It doesn't produce too much sound, but it has just enough bass where it actually sounds decent. Now, I have one more speaker currently that I use most of the time. That speaker would be this Silo Canon. A lot of my friends just call it the Canon. They ask me where it's at all the time. Don't mind the Mardi Gras mask. It's pretty big. It has two mini subs on each, or has a mini sub on each side. I believe it has like a tweeter and a mid in the middle. And let's go ahead and remove that. Let the mask fall. This thing has some decent weight to it. With one hand from that awkward angle, it's kind of difficult to pick up. But as you can see from the top, we have the sound control, which if you're using an aux cable, it doesn't count as sound control. It counts as, I believe it is the skip forward and back buttons. Then you have the power button here, you have the battery symbol there, and you have the play stop button there. Now, if we turn it around, this thing, kind of like this, got it for a pretty good deal at TJ Maxx, or I think for some of you it would be Home Goods, basically the same type of store. Now, you have a little, looks kind of like an SD slot here, but TF, I don't know exactly what that is, a USB slot. I'm assuming I can plug my USB into it that has a lot of music on it, and it should work. I have not tried it yet. Has the charging section here, and then it has, of course, your aux here. I wanted to make sure that it did have an aux, because I bought a speaker before this that did not, and I was very disappointed. I ended up returning it because simply I just could not use it for what I had intended for it, which was all good. They took it back, no problems, and everything went pretty well. So it has all this on the back. I only pretty much use the aux right now, but I like that I have other options just in case. Now, excuse my messy room behind me. What do I usually plug this really long aux cord? Let me grab it. What I usually plug this aux cord into, which if you remember, all of the other system runs into the exact same aux, which makes it really easy. I can plug this into almost anything, and everything that I have plugged in works perfectly for it. Alright, so now I told you I have it plugged into my TV sometimes. Usually if I'm wanting to watch some movies or something, I'll plug it in here, because the DVD player, whenever it's set up, it'll actually run through whatever the aux is plugged into, so it'll go through acting as if you have another set of speakers. And then way down here, buried underneath everything down here, there's a Blu-ray player, which I watched Game of Thrones with. That's the only reason I bought it, really, is just because I could watch Game of Thrones. And the whole system sounded great. If you heard that, it was me dropping the aux. Don't worry, nothing broke. So, watch Game of Thrones. The sound was amazing. If any of y'all have seen that series, y'all know it's always best if you have a good system. Makes the whole series come alive, really. Now, my last thing, and I'll flip it around for this one, little stool. I basically use it as like a little stand thing to keep miscellaneous items. I have my smartwatch, which is, might go over that later if y'all want. But from here you can probably see what it is. But that's not why we're over here. We're over here for the Amazon Alexa. Yeah, I knew she'd come on. Anyway, so I paid for the Amazon Unlimited Music, which is I think like $4 a month. It's really good. I can get basically any type of music, any individual song that I want to, just by asking her to play that song or that type of music. It's amazing. But surprisingly, what a lot of people in my family haven't realized is that Alexa, if I move the case over, actually has an aux jack. So initially what ends up happening is I have a fully automated sound system based off of this one device, because I can tell Alexa, hey Alexa, turn the sound to 1. Alexa, turn the sound to 1. Okay, she turned it to 1. You saw she kind of believed to the end there. I also have this set up to my lighting system in my room. So basically just a smart light bulb that I had set up, but we'll get to that at another date. Now, this is basically what I use most of the time. That's the only reason I turned it around and gave it its own little special section. It makes it so easy if I'm like in the kitchen and I have my door open and I'm playing music, I can just yell at her to play a different song. If I want to play a different song, turn the music down, stop, whatever I want to, basically. So that comes in great amount of handiness. So I believe that is all for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and wait around until another video comes up. If there's any suggestions that you want to give, please leave them in the comment box below. If there's something that you just absolutely loved, or anything that you have questions on, again, comments. I will try my best to read through as many of those and get back to you on any questions that you might have. If there's anything else that you want to have something like this go through, any hobbies, I'll do something over the lanyards on the wall. It's over here. I'll get to that in another video. As you can see, I have light bars. I'll kind of get to that in another video, which probably wouldn't take very long to do. Let's see here. I might be able to make that in 2-minute video. Whatever. If there's anything else in my room that you saw, there's something I'm spinning around that you have questions on, go ahead and ask. Everything I will try to get to, or I will make a video on. So, again, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.